We've changed our studio. By studio I mean I have moved to the other side of the living room. Hello, welcome to the Go Grab That Day podcast. Hope you guys are all doing well, hope you're all keeping good, hope you're all enjoying the videos that have been up so far. Still heaps more content to come, working on some cool ideas, some nice ideas that I will reveal soon. Today just wanted something a little not different, but a little different. We're going to talk about Wimp to Warrior, which I have spoken about before. Before I get into it though, everyone please keep liking, sharing, subscribe and all that kind of thing. I keep saying it, but really, please listen. It means a lot that people are following, and how many people are following. It's been brilliant. But please continue to do so, and hopefully we get the numbers up more and more. Again, I've said it a million times. I say it one more. I really enjoy it. I'm enjoying every bit of it, and I want to keep doing it. So yeah, thanks guys. Keep liking and subscribing, sharing. Also, our affiliations. We have an affiliation with Mystique Jerseys. Go check them out. It's in the Instagram link. Click on them. Check out all their gear. Really nice stuff. And also PPT, Fitness and Nutrition. We have an affiliation with them. One of their plans, their nutrition plans, is on the Instagram. Go check it out. It's really good. Ta-da! Yeah. So as I was saying, I want to speak about the Wimp to Warrior program, which is something that I suppose I hold very dear to my heart. It's something I got to take part in. It was a lot of fun. I'll briefly explain it, but mostly I just want to talk about my experience, and I'm going to share my own fight at the end of this video, which I'm proud of in a way, but not in other ways, which I'll get to in a minute. But anyway, yeah, the program is really good. Basically, it's for people who want to experience what a fight camp is like. You do a 20-week, thereabouts, in or around a 20-week camp, training with some of the best coaches in the world, depending on where you're based in the world. They do it everywhere. They've done it back home in Ireland, and they're running a few programs out here. They're in Australia, America, everywhere. And yeah, and at the end you fight somebody that's in the camp with you. But an amazing experience. I can't say it enough. One of the coolest things I've ever done. One of the toughest things I've ever done, but really, really good. I don't regret a minute. I do regret something. I regret not going to every training session that I could have gone to. That's all I regret. But anyway, to get into it, I suppose I'll explain a bit how it went for me, and then I'll share the fight video at the end of this, which again I'm kind of dreading. But it just took a bit of time. I wanted to be honest, I did want to share the fight video, but it took a bit of time to get, and then it took a bit of time me not wanting to share too. But anyway, the experience itself, I remember back home in Ireland a few years ago, I saw some advertisements for the Wimp to Warrior program. I believe it was in Cork at the time, and I really wanted to do it, but me living in Galway, which is a bit away, and just probably fear and stuff like that, kept me from doing it. And then when I got here to New Zealand, into Auckland, I was only here, I was only here a few months. I think it was 6 months, and I saw they had announced it again with City Kickboxing, and I had planned on signing up with City Kickboxing anyway, just to do some training. So I figured, why not? And then, it almost got me fired, because every morning I was turning up for work late, and I had to beg my boss to kind of give me some leeway, which he kind of did and he kind of didn't. But yeah, it works pretty much. You're talking 5 mornings a week. Training started at 5:15, I believe. Yeah, 5:15 until like 6:30. So yeah, you're up every morning at 4:30. To get in the middle of winter, it was cold. The start of it was in the middle of winter, but yeah, it was quite hard getting up in the morning. But yeah, you train 5 days a week, with all the fundamentals all right through to getting you ready for fight camp and sparring. And myself in particular, I loved it. Unfortunately, I was carrying a little bit of a back problem, a disc problem, which I knew I had, but I thought it would be okay to go through the camp. I'd had my surgery and stuff like that with no issues. 4 or 5 years prior, it was giving me issues throughout the camp, and then I got to experience the full thing. To be fair, there was no issues. I got to do most of my sparring and my training, but it just was playing on my mind a lot, and I was some sessions kind of not turning up for. I went to the majority of it, but there was some towards the end which let me down that I didn't turn up for, which messed up my cardio and stuff like that. No excuses, but it's just it was a shame, because going back now, I wish I went to every single session. But on the lighter side, it was such an amazing experience. So many different people there from all walks of life. And we got, it was all, the whole thing was filmed by, which is what my fight was filmed on as well, by a guy named Tony Robb from Combat TV. So shout out to Tony, I really appreciate him doing all that, and that's why I'm able to share the fight footage, and you'll see the fight footage, it's really well done. Tony gets our walkouts and everything, and it's really good. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed all the experience. In terms of the fight itself, to go like the training. Say like we got to train, but as I've said a million times, Eugene Beerman, all the city kickboxing guys, Dan Hooker, Brad Riddell, Kai Kara France, Alex Volkanovski was there for a bit. Obviously Israel Adesanya, Frank Hickman. Frank Hickman was one of my favourite people that I worked with. Just a funny character, a great wrestling coach, and their experiences I'll have for the rest of my life. And the guys I trained with, I think there was, God, if I'm right, there was like 40 to 50 of us, I think, well, there was a lot of us anyway. I know that there was quite a lot of people by the end of it, and so many fights on the night. But I met some really cool people throughout it. Some people I would be friends with for the rest of my life. Really, really good characters, and you see the growth. I myself can say that I've grown massively from Wimp to Warrior, confidence-wise. The fact that I know that I can step in the cage, have the guts to step in the cage. It's not an easy thing to do, and believe me, when you do it, you have more respect for the people that do it. Do it on a regular basis, because it is a tough thing to do. And like I said, even myself, I have grown a lot because of what I've seen other people grow. I've seen what it's done for other people that I've had the pleasure of training with. And I remember on the night, like the day of the fight, the whole build up to it was such a crazy experience. It's quite hard to explain to somebody, or at least get you even close to understanding what it's like. My whole thing, as I mentioned earlier, I've missed, especially towards the end, I've missed a lot of sessions and kind of missed out on some which beat up my cardio a little bit. Look, I'm a kind of person that I will fight if I have to. You know, in terms of I'm not a fighter. I don't get in fights outside of training and stuff like that. I don't get into fights, but I enjoy the competitive side of it. You know, and I knew going into this that I had it in me to do the necessary thing to beat the guy.
Shut up.
But in terms of cardio, I wasn't there. My cardio was not there at all. So my whole plan and the build up to this fight was to keep myself as calm as possible. The whole day I was lying down watching the whole day, from like I was up early. My fight was like 15 to 18 fights in, I believe. It was quite close to the end. So I had to wade through a lot of fights, which was fucking hard. If I could have at the time, I probably would have changed it and gone out first.
Tell me something before your fight.
I'm scared.
Oh, please, go on.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know.
Ready to kick ass.
Ooh, I want to see some blood.
Not mine though.
I don't mind.
But you know, nobody wants to be the first person out. But yeah, shout out to Michaela Pinn, the first person that went out. Not an easy thing to do. But the whole day I was working on keeping myself calm. I was lying down, keeping my feet raised, keeping my heart rate down. Everything, trying to stay super calm, even in the build up to the fight, and waiting through every single fight, trying to stay calm, focusing on my breathing, not getting too pumped up, just to keep my cardio in check. And I remember one point I was watching a fight between, shout out to Jay Quaxon and Arnie Whitehair, two guys who I got along very well with throughout the entire camp. Two really good guys, and Jay knocked Arnie out. I believe it was one of the. I didn't get to see every fight, but it was a pretty heavy knockout. And because obviously I was friendly with Arnie and friends with Jay, it was hard to kind of. It was a tough thing to see, but a great thing to see at the same time. And I remember seeing that, and reality kind of set in, and I was thinking like, fuck, like I can get knocked out here, get knocked the fuck out, which I could. And fear really crept in after that fight. I remember. It really crept in, and to be honest, I was for a point looking for a way out. I was kind of praying that the fire alarm would go off or something, that I could leave, but I just couldn't find it in me to leave, to say I couldn't do this. I just couldn't bring myself to say no, I can't do this. But I really wanted a way out. That's being honest. It's not the coolest thing to say, but I truly wanted a way out after seeing that fight. eventually calmed myself down. There was a while before my own fight still. Yeah, but again, I remember in the build up, like, and I was just, I couldn't really calm myself down, and I was trying, and I remember hitting pads to keep myself warm, and just things weren't, nothing felt right, nothing felt the way it should have, nothing felt fluid, my body didn't feel great, and I was just still working on keeping myself calm. And I had my brother there too. My brother came back. Shout out to my brother Bobby, who was fought in many Muay Thai fights. He was an Irish Muay Thai champion, so no better guy to have in your corner. And he was the same, you know, helping me keep calm, telling me to keep calm, and it was just, that was my sole focus, to keep calm, trying. And the guy I was fighting, was Brett Calvert, yeah. Sorry, the name eluded me for a second, but yeah, Rhett Calvert. A really good guy. I have a lot of time for the guy, even though I couldn't remember his name. The funny thing is, both myself and Rhett used to get the bus together at whatever it was, 4:30 in the morning to the training. It's just quite funny that we ended up fighting each other. But a super nice guy as well, a guy I have a lot of respect for. You know, I wouldn't exactly say we're super close after the fight. You know, we don't speak as much as I would some of the other guys, but we will always have that bond, you know, in life, that the two of us went out and we, you know, shook hands, and we had a scrap. And Rhett was a good fighter. He was much more prepared than I was, and I knew at the time, like when we got called up to go, we got matched up to go fight each other, Rhett is a much bigger guy than me. And one of my downfalls also, which it's a discipline thing, was Eugene Behrman had told me early on in the camp, that I pretty much told me in a polite way that I needed to get down to lightweight. And I walk around at probably welterweight weight. So in terms of pounds, that's like 170 pounds, which I should have been down to 155, which wouldn't be hard for me, because as I said, it was my walking around weight. I just needed to cut a bit. And I never done that, which I should have. And had I done that, I'd have probably gotten on a little better in the fight too. But yeah, so walking out there anyway. Sorry, I'm trying to get through everything before the time. The actual time of walking out, like I said, my brother came back to me. I remember them calling my name. And I got my hands wrapped a little earlier by, again, Mr. Frank Hickman. And I remember walking on your stand, and the way we done it was, there was a big cage, almost like a big stage. You're standing behind the curtains. Your opponent is the other side. He walks down that side, you walk down this side, and the cage is just in front. And yeah, I just remember trying to get myself psyched out, but trying to stay calm at the same time. And my brother talking to me, and we actually have a video. I wish I could share it, but I can't find it. It's there somewhere. But my brother basically talking to me to stay calm, and I had a Blood Diamond as my cornerman. So yeah, as I'm backstage waiting for them to announce, and you walk out, and I remember, you know, telling myself that I wanted to relax as I walked out. And of course, they managed to play the wrong fucking song as well. For a lot of us didn't get our walkout songs, but you know, I don't know, silly mistake. We were a little pissed off about that. But anyway, I believe a Biggie song came on for me, which I had not chosen. I'd chosen something else. But oh, what the hell anyway. I didn't even realise it until afterwards, I don't think. But it came on anyway. I remember walking out. I wanted to kind of take in the walk-in. I wanted to, you know, I made sure that as I stepped out of the curtain, I took a really deep breath. I don't know why, I wanted to take it in and then walk real calmly. And I remember that moment, that walk, I remember the walk out perfectly. I remember every bit of it, and it's as clear as day. And to be honest, it's quite hard to even put into words how I felt. You're kind of present, but you're not present. It's really hard to explain. It was like I say, it's a very tough thing to do, but I understand it's an addictive thing. That feeling of walking out, that adrenaline, that it's so strange. And I remember being there, and I remember bobbing my head to the song at the time, and the guys putting on the slippy shit, the petroleum jelly or whatever it is, so you don't get cut. Yeah, I remember him doing that. And I also remember I had a shit mouth guard, which is something I was supposed to fix as well. At the time, all of my Wimp to Warrior mates were getting their mouth guards done professionally, proper ones, and I kept putting it off, and by the end it was too late, and I had a shit mouth guard that kept sticking out. Not that matters, that's my own fault anyway, but these are just the details I remember. And yeah, I remember getting the thing on and, walking into the cage, and again took a real deep breath as I stepped into the cage. And you see, I'm just trying to stay calm, trying to keep my breathing. I remember the ref called us in, and this is truly the weirdest part of the whole lot of it. Is the ref called us in, told us the rules, asked if we had any questions, touch gloves, walked away. And this is honestly, this is the truth on when this happened. When that happened and we both backed away, it literally, in my eye line, looked like the whole room turned black right around the cage. It's like everything just shut off, and I mean, this is exactly how it looked. I could see the crowd, I could see everybody right before the ref said touch gloves and told us to get back to our corners. When I backed to my corner, it's like everything shut off on the outside, and I truly mean this is what happened. Everything went completely black. And just the entire world seemed to be inside that cage, between me and him. And that was such a weird experience, but that is exactly how it felt. And I only noticed it afterwards. But it was such a... I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how to explain it to somebody to truly get you to understand. But that's what it felt like from me. So I remember the fight kicked off, and my whole thing was not to go to ground. Rhett was very good on the ground, very strong on the ground, very heavy on the ground, because he was a bigger, stronger guy. He cut weight to get down to fight the same weight as me, and I hadn't cut anything, so I was just at my normal weight. So Rhett was going to be a lot stronger, and that's credit to him. That's him being disciplined. It was me not being disciplined, me being a fat ass. And you see it in the fight. I'm not like, there's not a whole lot to the fight, unfortunately, but yeah, in it I'm trying to basically keep Rhett away, but technique and everything went out the window. The whole thing just shot out the window, and my whole plan was to stay calm, stay moving away, be ready for his takedowns. And he came in and he caught me with a good one too, nice and early, and I mean I looked terrible in my defence. My hands were down purposely. I deliberately let my hands stay down. I planned on just taking shots and moving, because I'm kind of hard-headed. I've got a big ass head, but it's not great. But it's just that was my plan. It was just to try and land something heavy on him. I know one thing for sure in training, that I'm heavy-handed with some guys. I've noticed that I can land a good heavy shot, and I can take one too. I've been rocked a couple of times in training. Like I said, I have a hard head, but he did catch me with a quick one too. And you see on the video, my fucking technique is horrendous. I drop my head and I'm like, not knowing what to do. When he does that, then I kind of, if you want to say, I get mad, but I want to pressure him then. Straight away I want to pressure him. And on the video you see, it's quite hard to see because my technique looks terrible. But I pressure him and he kind of comes in, and I catch him with a very clean right hook. Oh, it felt so nice. But that's the problem, it felt nice. So then I wanted, that's when I kind of chased. So I believe, and you see in the video, I throw a kick, and the only reason I threw the kick, I was only ever throwing kicks, was to get him to stay away from me, to get him not to take me down, not to try and take me down. And I should have stuck with that plan. I'd been working on it even in the training, building up to keep throwing kicks, to try and throw kicks at his leg, to throw oblique kicks. And that was literally my entire plan, was to do that and hopefully catch him with something clean, or drag him. I didn't think I was going to drag him to the late round, but who knows, And anyway, you see in it, after I catch him with the clean right hook, I kind of run at him. Not necessarily run at him, but I get, what do they call it, bloodthirsty. Because when I hit him, he backed off, and I thought, yes. And I moved at him, and he timed such a perfect takedown. Like, honestly, it was really well timed. He caught me perfectly. Like an idiot, I abandoned what I was thinking about. I abandoned the plan, which is down to cardio as well. Because if my cardio was good, my mind would have been where it should have been, and stuff like that. And he got the takedown, and he was right into side mount, side control. And then it was just me trying to stop him from. But I remember being in side control, so you've Rhett on this side, and he's trying to step over, so I'm holding my knee up to my elbow, to stop him from being able to step over. And I did remember that part, and now I can hear the corner, I can hear Blood Diamond shouting to me, turn into him, turn into him, turn into him, and he kept saying it, and my mind would not register, and all I had to do was to slide my knee across and take him into my guard, and it would have been a lot safer for me. It just wasn't working, and he eventually, pretty quickly actually, got full mount, and he just started raining down shots on me, and the ref stopped it. I'm not trying to sound tough or cool or anything here. Honestly, I was not at all hurt. I was in serious trouble. I was not getting out of the mount, but I was not hurt. He did not. Surprisingly, he did not hurt me, because it looks like on the video he lands quite a few shots, and I cannot get out. And again, in that moment, and right now, I know what I had to do. I just had to pop my hips and just shake him to try and get him off. That was what I should have done, but your mind's not there. All I was doing was eating the shots, trying to move my head, and he was landing clean. He landed a lot of clean shots. I see why the ref stopped it. I'm not saying it was a bad stoppage. I absolutely see why the ref stopped it. Listen, it's an amateur fight. It's my first fight. It's his first fight. For a lot of people, it's for pretty much everybody, it's their first fight, so the ref has to be extra careful. But I suppose in my head, I just wanted him to stop it, allow me to get hurt a little more. I wanted to be banged up, that's been honest. When you just want to, if I'm going to be stopped that way, I wanted to show some scars or some marks for it, and unfortunately I didn't, except my ego more than anything. But yeah, as you'll see, the technique and stuff on the fight, I'm not embarrassed to share it. Look, I had the guts to step in there. By no means am I embarrassed to share it. I am annoyed that I allowed myself to not be a little better than that, to not have my cardio in check. And look, I have the excuse of being slightly injured and stuff like that, but really I still could have been better prepared. That's just been honest. And that is from the entire program, that is my only regret. My only regret is that I didn't turn up for every single session. Yeah, every single session, and that I didn't really make the best of it. But looking back now, because I'm injured and I can't do any training, and again, so I wasn't wrong about my back. There was definitely something wrong with it, but I just wish I took in every single morning. I was down there listening every morning. But again, credit to Rhett, good fighter, man. He was well prepared, and he beat me fair and square. I got no arguments with that. Just looking back, I just wish I pushed him a little bit more. I wish I gave him a better fight, even for him too, because he did well. And yeah, again, I can't say enough about the Wimp to Warrior program. You're going to hear Richie Cranny later talk about it when we put up the video. Yeah, an amazing experience. I have some great friends because of it, and you'll see what Tony Robb did with the video. It's really cool, and we got to do a lot of interviews with Tony throughout the program. He has loads of footage of us training and stuff like that. I'm hoping to get some of that eventually as well. I'm going to ask Tony about it. But such a cool experience, man. It's really, we truly felt like, for me, who's such an MMA fan, true and true, like that felt like a legit fight camp, which it was a legit fight camp, but it felt like something bigger, and yeah, I loved every minute of it. And that walking out for a fight is something I'll take with me for the rest of my life, because I surprised myself. Like I said, I'm not one to get into street fights or anything like that. I never have. I've always tried to keep myself away from that kind of stuff, and I pride myself in walking away from it. But regardless of what people say, again, looking at the fight, my technique is horrendous. But like, I got into the cage to fight a guy that trained to beat me for 20 weeks. As did Rhett. So it takes a lot of courage to do that, and I'm proud of it, and I truly hope I get to do it again. Really, I just hope I get to compete in MMA again sometime. There's the options of jiu-jitsu and Thai boxing and stuff like that, but honestly, I would love another MMA fight. I truly would. But whether that'll happen is up to what happens to me over the next while with hopefully not surgeries, but issues with my back and stuff like that. But anyway, I just wanted to, talk about my experience with Wimp to Warrior. You'll hear Richie talk a lot more on the other video I share later today. But yeah, an amazing experience, man. I cannot talk enough about it, and it truly, like, we've had two more. We were the first Auckland Wimp to Warrior group, and I believe there's been two more since, but obviously because of lockdowns and stuff like that, they were kind of delayed. But yeah, I truly wish I could have signed up for another one. It's just at the moment I can't, unfortunately. But someday hopefully I get involved and do it again. And anyone out there back home in Ireland, guys, out here, Australia, wherever you are listening, if you see a Wimp to Warrior thing near you and you're thinking about it, go check it out. I am telling you, it will be one of the coolest things you've ever done in your life. You're gonna be apprehensive about the fight, but the truth is that is the best part of it. And people will say that to you, and you'll kind of go, oh yeah, because it's not an easy thing to do. But I tell you, it was like a lot of us that went out there on the night. Some were like myself. I was not prepared. I was gonna lose regardless. But I still did it, and I did it because I wanted to say I did it. I wanted to say that I knew. I wanted to be able to say that even though I knew I was going to lose and I knew I was ill prepared, that I had the guts to step in the cage. And again, there's a lot of other people that had same experience, had worse experience. Trust me, there's a number of people that fought on that night that had much bigger reasons than me not to fight. And they fought, and some won, but regardless, it's an experience I carry for the rest of my life. I have like Wimp to Warrior gear, I have a Wimp to Warrior medal, I have my little picture with my name on the fight card, and all of that is great, but the truth is the experience and the friendship I gained from it is unbelievable. Like I said, the people I met, I can't say enough, guys. I'm telling you, do it. If it's near you, do it. Check it out. Even go to they have like a trial, I believe, usually in all the courses. And Richie is bringing out some bigger things in the future, some other kind of avenues where you can go down, which you'll hear on the podcast or on the interview I do with Richie. And listen, it's amazing. I'm telling you, if you're thinking about it, if it crosses your mind and you want to do something different, give it a shot. It's an amazing experience. Wimp to Warrior is one of the best things I've ever done, and I truly cannot wait to do it again. Or, I don't know, but it taught me that in terms of MMA, I want to be involved in some way possible for the rest of my life. I want to always be involved in MMA, however I do it. And like I said, it taught me a lot of lessons, gave me some great friends, great experiences, and yeah, got him a free set of gloves. But yeah, it's so cool, guys. Really check it out. I know it is in Ireland on a regular basis, and it's definitely out here, and it's in Australia, and it's in America. So, and most of them are done with big camps, so you will get to meet some pro fighters, train with some great coaches. Yeah, listen, you might look at it and say, oh, it's a little expensive. It's a bit of money. Like I believe we paid 2,000 out here. So yeah, it sounds like a lot of money, but add it all up over 20 weeks of training with the best fighters and coaches in the world. It's worth every penny for the sake of staying in a few nights from booze. I know myself, I'd easily spend $2,000 on alcohol given the chance, especially in Ireland. So like I said, guys, check it out. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. You'll love it. Wimp to Warrior is an amazing experience, and I cannot thank Richie Cranny enough for giving us the platform to do something like this and for giving us a way to step out of our comfort zones. An amazing experience, so thank Richie for that. And yeah, I'll end it on that, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't be too judgmental on my fight. I gave enough excuses to cover my ass there, I think, but for those of you that have any criticisms, fuck you. Thanks, guys. See you later. Go grab that day. My name is Wesley Healy. I'm 29 years of age. I'm a scaffolder. My reason for joining is I missed out on the opportunity back home in Ireland. I just didn't sign up. I kind of backed out of it, so I'm only here 6 months, and when I saw the opportunity again, I figured I had to take it. So here I go.
Next fight in the blue corner, Red Calvert. In the red corner, Wesley Healy. Foot of the tape. Face off. Good start, first camera. Good start. You alright?
Frankie, how does it feel when all your babies going to go out there for the first time today?
Oh, I'm excited for them. I think they're going to do great. I know a lot of them are nervous. I'd be nervous. Hell, I'm nervous for them, but I just hope they have fun with it. You know what I mean? They spent 20 weeks. Most of them getting up at 4:30. 5:30 to 7 in the morning. It's a long time. So they put in a lot of work, a lot of hours, and now it's just time for them to showcase their abilities and, like I said, have fun with it. So if they have fun, they'll be fine. But excited for them. It's going to be a lot of good fights. They've come a long way. So they got a good support system, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people here from the gym. I know they got a lot of family and friends out there, so that's important. It's going to be good. What do you reckon, Varmint?
Doesn't matter what I reckon, mate. I just listen to the experts.
I'm no expert.
Alrighty, we are ready for our next bout number 10. Please welcome into the blue corner, Rick Calvert.
Rick Calvert is the next man into the cage, 26 years of age, 174 centimetres, sharp, an engineering consultant at Agile Engineering. And his opponent is Wesley Healy, the fast-witted Irishman. He's a real hard case, this fella, sharp. 5'7" tall, 29 years of age, and 174. No, what's that? He's got 174 pounds. So yeah, he forgot what country he's in.
Yeah.
He's
we changed the metric in the 50s.
So, he's a scaffolder by trade, mate, so something that you know about. Into his football, snooker, pool. And he missed out on going on Wimp Warrior over in Ireland, and he's not going to miss out on it twice, and he wanted to be with the best trainer in the world, and that's why he's come here. Couple of Irish people on a boy and a girl. Wesley's a boy, and good to see them here in New Zealand.
The Irish, I think it's just in their DNA. They know how to fight. And I think they've got an extra liver and kidney as well because they can drink. That's what I've heard. That's the
3-minute rounds. Okay, extension if needed. Okay, you got your instructions, you understand them. It's a good, clean fight. Listen to my instructions at all times. Touch them up, I'm not fighting.
Cage door is closed and time on about to be signalled. Calvert against Healy, and it's Calvert that wants to, I was going to say he wants to control the centre of the ring, but it looks like Healy wants to have a say in that.
Healy needs to keep his head up and
Whoa! Wow!
What a takedown.
Well, that was a big takedown. He slipped under the punch and he's stopping him from getting the full mount at the moment. Calvert working away, the side mount.
Gee, and really chest on chest there, keeping it low, keeping the dominance,
Yeah.
giving him no options,
Whoa,
and he goes
quickly
straight for the
over.
mount. Wow.
Houston, we have a problem.
Round
And
one.
this one's pulled off quickly, and there was no getting out of that one, Shark.
Yeah, well, you get caught dry and there's nowhere to go when you're down on the ground like that. I was impressed with that takedown and the way he worked into that full mount.
Yeah,
You know, chest on chest here, so he's down. He can't get. He's not going anywhere. He's got control on the ground, and he just takes his time. I tell you what, that slam was pretty hard. I think he hit his head as he came down. And there you can see as he works his way into position, and then straight over.
That's a perfect mount.
That's great, and still having control on the ground, and then it's all over from there. It's just a matter of time. And of course the guys are dry, there's nowhere to slip and slide.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you get caught cold, you get caught dry.
And that's all it takes. This is the sport
Yeah.
that has a million ways to finish a fight.
Yeah, very impressive.
Really giving the referee no option but to stop that. Just the amount of punches thrown in that short amount of time.
Good performance, you can't fault it. He did everything right, slipped the punches, take down, hard, fast and decisive.
Yep, got the job done.